All right, partners, guys, it is your turn. Let's talk about your first workout, all right? It is called 3, 2, 1, you go, I go. So the format is a you go, I go format, meaning you work, your partner works, you work, your partner works. So when your partner is working, you're always in a little bit of active recovery. Then the 3, 2, 1 plays into the rounds and the exercises. So let's talk about that. You have 3 exercises. First exercise is full burpees at 5 reps. Second exercise is ground to overhead presses at 10 reps. Exercise 3 is forward hurdle hops at 15, okay? So with the rounds, you guys are gonna do a you go, I go format, 3 rounds for all 3 exercises. So you start with those burpees, okay? So if you're my partner and it's me, I do 5, you do 5, I do 5, you do 5, I do 5, you do 5. So 3 sets. Then we move to the next exercise and do our 3 ground to overhead presses. So I do my 10, you do 10, I do 10, you do 10, I do 10, you do 10. Then we finish with those hurdles, our 3 sets, and same thing goes on, okay? Now, once we finish our hurdles, we get rid of it. We get to do 2 sets of exercise 1 and 2. So we're back to those burpees. So it's I go, you go, I go, you go. Ground to overhead, I go, you go, I go, you go. Then we drop to 1 set of just that first exercise one last time. So you do burpees and I do burpees, and then we're done, all right? So let's talk a little bit about those exercises. First one is that full burpee, okay? My level 1s, you guys have the option to modify, meaning step out and use your knees. My level 2s, you guys are jumping and you are on your toes for your push-up, okay? So with that full burpee, my level 1s, okay, we're gonna have a cone here so that the chest is hitting that cone, okay? So you can step it out for my level 1. So hands can plant on the ground, I can step it back, I lead with my chest. Again, you can drop to those knees for your push-up, I can step it up, and then I just have to get full hip extension. You can bring arms up overhead if you want to, but you don't have to, just hip extension at the top, 5 reps. My level 2s, you have to jump it and you have to use those toes. So you can plant those hands, jump it back, lead with that chest, make sure toes stay on the floor, quads cannot touch in that push-up, and then you're jumping it at the top. Those feet have to leave the floor. You gotta get full hip extension, okay? So those are our burpees. Then exercise number 2, we have ground to overhead presses. So your weight for ground to overhead press will basically be determined based on your level. So level 1 or level 2 will be a little bit different, okay? But with your ground to overhead press, you can start at the bottom of the rep, okay? So head of your dumbbell has to touch at the bottom. You start in that position of head on the ground, and then you drive up, full hip extension, and you gotta lock that at the top. So at the bottom, the head has to touch. If I don't get to the bottom, if it doesn't touch, it is a no rep. So then tap, and then full lockout, hip extension at the top, okay? So those are your 10 reps. Then we move on to exercise number 3, which is our hurdles. Now, level 1s, you guys are not doing the hurdle hop, okay? You are doing line over and backs for just my female level 1s, okay? So you're gonna ditch the hurdle. You guys instead have over and backs across that line. So whole foot goes forward, whole foot goes back, that's 1 rep. Forward, back, that's 2. Forward, back, that's 3, until you get to your 15, then your partner can go, all right? Everyone else, you will have a hurdle. It will be determined based on your level, okay? So with that hurdle hop, I'm gonna get a little bit closer to you. It is a forward facing hurdle hop. So you have to start forward, you have to finish that jump forward as well. So both feet have to leave the floor, both land, that's 1 rep. I turn around, that's 2, okay? It might feel advantageous to try and jump and turn your hips in the air, but that is not allowed. So you have to start forward, you have to finish forward, and then you can go for your next rep, all right? Now, what would a no rep look like here? If I were to jump and the hurdle fell over in the middle of my jump, that would be a no rep. I'd have to pick it up and do the next rep, okay? Until I get to 15. All right, also, if my feet aren't fully going over, if my jump is like half on the side, right? If I'm jumping here and it's like 1 foot, I don't even know how you would do that, but that would be a no rep, okay? So both feet land and start from the same side, okay? And then going over forward instead of turning in the air. Again, turning in the air would be a no rep. So 15 there, all right? So let's quickly recap that format one more time. You're gonna do 3 sets of burpees, 3 sets of ground overhead, 3 sets of the hurdles. You get rid of the hurdles, then you're doing 2 sets of burpees, 2 sets of ground overhead, get rid of the ground overhead, and then you finish 1 set of those burpees. And that's your first workout.